welcome. My name is Rebecca Fisher, and we're here to showcase a lot of the talents and arts right in your own backyard. And so we thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We have a special guest with us today. She's an artist. We have Pamela Yates, who has her own studio and is an artist and creative consultant, helping other people to become artists and find their inner creative soul as well. Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
I'm really glad to be here with you.
Well, I'd like to get started. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. Well, let's see. I was actually born and grew up in Australia. Lived there and then until I was 15. Lived for 12 years in London, England, and then moved to the US in 1979. I've actually made art since I was a child. Like I think a lot of artists, I was really drawn to the arts. I used to draw, I love to write, love to paint. And so there's been a part of my life journey, thinking about art, enjoying art around me and making my own art. I actually had a 20-year period when I didn't paint at all. I painted and then I couldn't understand the work that I was producing, so I actually put it away for almost 20 years, and then I started again because I missed it. Even after that very, very, very long break, I realized that I missed making art. So I started again, and I've been just a rabid painter ever since. And I like working. I have a creativity coaching practice which I started and trained for, because when you're an artist, whether it's a painter or a musician or a dancer, it just seems that when you're with the public, a lot of people express a really heartfelt desire to make art. With me, they talk about wanting to paint, wanting to draw, and how they've always wanted to do that and they don't know how. And so, aside from just doing that in a general fashion, I took some training so I'd have better language. I thought I'd have better language to talk to people about just following that heartfelt desire. Mm-hmm. Art is for everybody. It's a part of being human. A lot of times people talk about the fact they don't know how to make art, but it's a journey. I remember years ago when I lived in London, I saw some very early sketches by Michelangelo in the National Gallery, I think it was, and I love to tell people they weren't very good. You know, he learned to draw, just like I had to learn to paint. It's okay to embark on that creative journey, not knowing how.
So I have a question. What if somebody wanted to either purchase art or do art? What would be the characteristics that we would look for, or what would you suggest to somebody maybe buying art or even just looking at it?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. And it's not the complicated answer, and it's not an intellectual answer, because I don't think of art as intellectual. We can be intellectual about it, but that's about art rather than just letting the art speak to you. So I have a very old-fashioned answer probably, which is that whatever you love is what you should buy. Whatever you love, whether it's an original piece of art or a greeting card or a print, it doesn't have to match anything in your room or your house. My experience has been that when I buy a piece of art because it just speaks to me, even if I don't totally understand why, I don't think I've ever got tired of a piece of art that I bought in that way, whether it's pottery or two-dimensional art or sculpture, music. And my taste might change over time, but I always remember how I felt when I saw it. So I just really suggest that people just let themselves fall in love. In fact, I received an email from a gentleman right at the end of last year, who sent me an email because he bought one of my art cards at an art fair, and he wanted to write and tell me that it's an otter and a person swimming together, and he said he took that card, he put it up where he works on his desk by his computer, and that was 2 years ago. And he said he'd loved it ever since, and he just wanted to write and tell me that he sees it every day for 2 years. He's had that little image there, and he just wanted to write and say how much it meant to him and how much he loves it and loved seeing it every day as at work. And that, to me, that's what art does. It's something that every time you see it, you love it anew, and you remember how you felt when you bought it. And especially telling the artist, I wrote back, of course, and said, that is the greatest compliment I could ever have. It's called Spirit Helpers, and it's many layers. It's actually, this piece is an acrylic painting. In the background where the green patches will be, some of that will be trees, that'll be worked up into trees. And there's a little bit of rice paper in the background there because I really wanted partly a textural. I wanted some parts of it to have a textural finish.
Okay.
And I've had a thing with stars for a while now. I just love stars, and I know I came from the stars. I think we all came from the stars, but that's just, I have this personal relationship with stars.
Can I say what I like?
Oh, please! What do I love? Yes, and what you don't like?
I love the heads.
I love feedback
with the stars around them. I don't. It looks like a guide or somebody, you know, spirit-like, and I love the combination of these colors right here. That is really nice. It catches my eye and has a lot of float. I mean, in my humble opinion. Oh, I can see it kind of comes out too a little bit. I hope you catch it on camera. It kind of has a relief feeling to it.
Yes, this is a really, I had a canvas, I painted it in a dark grey, and then as it was sitting around the studio, it was really, not depressing, but it was like this dark canvas that I kept moving around. And so one day I took some leftover white and blue paint and I just started swirling like a big circle, big circles of life. Spirals, and then quite by chance, as I looked at it one day, I could see it has a bear in it. I could see the nose, the eyes, and the ears, and so about a couple of months ago I started trying to work that without forcing it, just trying to work out where that bear is going to be. So that's going to be a really large bear painting. I think it's going to have a lot of colours in it, but you can't tell that now. But I really want it to be colourful, not fluorescent exactly, not like stop you in the street colours, but I really want it to have some really strong colours. So that's going to take some thinking about.
You know what I like about
I'd love
this?
to know what,
in my humble opinion. Well, it looks natural. It looks like nature just did this, and that it wasn't human-made at all. And I also like my eyes to gravitate towards the blue, and then you stare at it a while, and then your eyes gravitate towards the white, and it starts getting this 3D effect. You ever do that where you just stare at something, you let one color come ahead and one color go back?
Well, you might be pleased to know that, you know, I understand, I agree, and it's like, it's moving. People can go to my website, it's Footprints Art Studio, but it also shows up if they just search for my name, Pamela Yates. That'll tell them everything they need to know about new work and where they can see my work. I love to hear feedback. I love to hear comments about my art. Whatever that is, you know. If they like it, don't like it, it's all good.
We want to say thank you so much for joining us with this nice showcase with Pamela Yates, the artist, in our own backyard. And we have more videos coming up with showcases of other artists of different genres and venues coming up soon on this website. So we hope that you can stick around and check back with us and just see what's in our backyard as well. Thank you again.